Hi, and welcome to the Kelly Kitley podcast, America's Social Worker Unfiltered, where every week I have hopeful, honest, and deeply human conversations with change makers. And you guys, I am so excited for this bonus episode this week because I ran across Ryan Foley, who is the publisher of Bartender Magazine and the author of the new non-alcoholic drinks, excuse me, for dummies. And I ran
Yep.
across this in on LinkedIn. And for so many people who are sober curious, who listen to the podcast and who are going into the holidays, this is just a perfect, tangible opportunity for people to implement having a great time over the holidays with non-alcoholic drinks, whether they're going to work parties or they're hosting it at their own house. I thought that this was a great bonus episode for people to have heading into the holidays. So thank you so much for saying yes and for being here today.
Oh, of course, right back at you. Thank you for reaching out. It's always an honor to chat with some folks that are doing good for the world. So thank you.
Of course. And, there's so much I relate to in your story too, with a long family line of having interest in bartending. And I joke and say, even though I don't drink alcohol anymore, bartending is always in my blood. And so
Oh yeah.
it's just a matter of what I'm pouring and what I'm drinking that has changed. So if you could let people know, like, how did you get into this very unique niche? And I know there's a
Yep.
history with your dad and you're living his legacy. What's your story?
Yeah, very much living dad's legacy. So, my dad started the good old Bartender Magazine in 1979 with my mom when he was running a bar in West Orange, New Jersey called The Manor. And he was really just looking for ways to learn about, bartending and sharing his expertise with, the community. And there was nothing out there at the time. So, he started the magazine, and then from there, 15 cocktail books in total. And then along the way, he wrote Bartending for Dummies in 1997, which really really set off a lot of the books and things for his career. We have it's with 1979 of having a print magazine, it's really cool, and I kind of grew up in the space and seeing all these cool bars and bartenders and learning so much from them, but really about hospitality, which I feel like
Mhm.
is, the most important thing that we can do. As a community, everyone wants to feel welcomed and safe in any space, and like full stop. But
Yeah.
for me, the bar is where I feel most at home because that's where I kind of grew up. So
Mm.
the non-alc book is really important to me because like you said, you don't drink, and it's what you're pouring when you're out and when you're bartending. But those options were so limited back in the day. We maybe had one non-alcoholic beer and maybe one non-alcoholic wine.
Sure. And there
Um,
was dust on them in the cooler because nobody drank
oh
them.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you probably bought a six pack and it lasts you 6 months, right?
Yeah,
Like that
totally.
that and it had a stigma around it, which absolutely it should not. So my goal with the book was to really showcase to people how many options have changed, and some of the best bars and restaurants in the country have a dedicated non-alc menu. So it is important to me, and I think to everyone, of like giving those folks a safe space to order a drink without being like, are you not drinking, or like, are you pregnant, or like whatever. It's just you can
Yeah.
choose not to do something, and you should feel comfortable. So, um, yeah, that's a very long answer to that,
No,
but
I
yeah,
love
this had
it. I love
everything.
it. And and what would you say, I mean, how did you develop these drinks and how would you say you market it to industry folk, people who, I mean, the cost of non-alcoholic drinks have gone up a lot too. I know when
Yep.
I go out, I'm like, there's even booze in here and it's so expensive, but it's about the experience. It's holding something, it's tasting something. Before
Yes.
we started recording, I said when I first stopped drinking, I'd like ask for soda water with like a lime. And it was gross, but
Right.
it was like it kind of looked like a drink. And now they're really fancy
Oh
and
man.
fun and
The creativity with bartenders right now is through the roof, and it's just such an exciting time. And we keep seeing new and different techniques and cool things. And I'm like, I'm blessed that my dad, started this, and I grew up in this industry, and he didn't sell toilet paper. I'm very excited to be a part of the hospitality community. But to your point about how did I find some recipes, there are some that I've kind of just like whipped up on my own and, really took some classics to make them non-alcoholic. And, with again, I'm looking at a non-alcoholic bourbon, over there in the corner that there's a brand called Ritual. There's some awesome brand called Cut Above that's doing some really cool stuff. And those non-alcoholic spirits didn't exist then. So,
Mhm.
we have that option that you can have a classic cocktail, and it could taste like it would with an actual alcohol product. Um, but also the beauty of Bartender Magazine and our website is that I have access and are friends with such amazing people across the world. And I did reach out to a lot of them. So two of the chapters are fully dedicated to submitted recipes from our bar friends around the country.
Mhm.
So there's recipes in here from France, from Kenya, a lot of our friends in New York and in Chicago that submitted recipes. And I was like, look, I want to showcase your craft and that give people when they're reading like a destination to go try them in these bars and meet these awesome bartenders who are doing this really cool stuff to show everyone like, you don't just have to have a soda water with lime or a
Mhm.
Shirley Temple. Like
Mhm.
there's folks are spending as much time on their NA cocktails as their cocktails with alcohol in them. So it's such a cool thing, and I'm again really blessed that folks wanted to send recipes in. And there's a whole colored section in this book for you eat and drink with your eyes first. I mean, look at this
Ah,
drink right here from our friends at Little
beautiful.
Bar, and
What
yeah,
is it?
and that's in Hoboken. It's
Is
called
it?
yeah, it's called the Petite Llama. Um, my friend who is the bartender slash she's a chef, so she like whipped up this really cool cocktail from ingredients with her culture. And I just think it's so cool. Like here's a cold brew martini
Oh my
from
gosh.
my one of my favorite bars on the planet, which is called Sip and Guzzle in New York City, and they're using a brand called Pathfinder to really emulate some of the alcohol that you would taste, but it is a full non-alcoholic brand.
Oh my gosh.
It's so cool. So like, I really took the time and reached out to people to help showcase to the readers like there's so much out there for you and to explore and to test. So it's really fun.
Ryan, thank you for doing this. This is so exciting.
Of
And I think
course.
for some people who this might be their first sober holiday or they're
Yeah.
going to somebody's home who doesn't drink, like to be able to bring this book and get people
Oh my
excited
gosh.
about maybe visiting some places that you refer to, but also making them at home. And, I mean,
Yep.
quite honestly, 88% of my listeners are women. And so I'm curious to know if there is a drink. I guess I'll speak to myself if that were most of my audience are middle-aged, women. I don't want anything too sweet. I want something
Yep.
that is pretty simplistic to make.
Okay.
I've made my
I
own
got you.
concoctions at my big Irish oh, spicy margarita.
Spicy margaritas. The
That is
margarita is
my
the number one
favorite.
selling drink
Give it to
in
me.
in the world.
Okay.
And you can use there's two products I could think of off the top of my head that are non-alcoholic, like agave based that you can taste it. They taste like tequila. One of them's even a mezcal. It's really cool. And you can make a spicy margarita, but non-alcoholic. And it's absolutely delicious. You feel like you have the notes of agave in the background that still tastes like, it's a proper tequila drink and not just like, juices mixed together.
Yeah.
And I think that's really awesome. And my wife is pregnant. We're expecting our son in the next couple of weeks here,
Oh my
which is our second
gosh.
child. And let me tell you,
Congrats.
I made a ton of spicy NA margaritas for her. And like, things like a non-alcoholic Aperol spritz, obviously without Aperol, just making it fun with like elderflower syrups and emulating those kind of like opportunities. So, the possibilities really are endless. And you mentioned like for those who are hosting or around the holidays, the easiest thing for you to do is to make those cocktails and
Mhm.
then keep the alcohol to the side and let your guests add your NA spirit or your tequila to their liking, right? And
Sure,
that's such an
sure.
easy thing to do for you to make a punch bowl or something really
Mhm.
easy we refer to that as like a batched cocktail, right? You can make like 10 of them
Mhm.
and put them in like a little glass container or in a big bowl, and then let your guests add the alcohol and or the NA spirit as they wish. So it's such an easy thing to do that sometimes you forget. You're like, oh, I don't have to put all this in there. You're like, yeah, save it. Let people add their own.
Oh my gosh, you are so knowledgeable. And I know, you grew up around this and your dad was such a connoisseur and this is such a culture. Um, what did you go to college?
I did. I went to Catholic University in
Oh
DC.
my gosh, in DC. My
Yep.
in-laws are gonna love this episode because
Oh, amazing.
my sister-in-law went to Catholic and they're from Jersey and a
Oh,
big Irish Catholic family. Oh, this
look at
is so
this.
funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I went
Um,
to Catholic for marketing.
for marketing. Okay.
Yeah, because I knew that I really like when I was a kid, people asked me what I wanted to be, and I was like, I just want to be my dad. Like it was like full stop, always what I wanted to do, and I didn't really, understand what alcohol was as a kid, obviously, and like,
Yeah.
I was like, I just wanted to be dad. He was a big personality, and like, we went to bars and restaurants, you could see how everyone was excited to see him, and I was like, oh my God, this is so fun and cool. And then when I was in college, and I did some like bartending during the summer, I was so curious about like how you can have an old fashioned at 10 different places and they all taste different. And it
Uh-huh.
like blew my mind. I was like, I don't know, like why is that like that? So I started to like really like learn the craft and figure things out. And I've
Hmm.
never had a job outside of hospitality, so I wouldn't know what I would do. But like,
Gosh.
from dishwasher to server to, line cook, like dad made me do it all to make sure that I understood the space.
Mm.
So I went to school for marketing thinking I would, one day do the magazine. And, I worked for a very large agency that worked on alcohol brands only. So it was like perfect for
Oh
me.
my gosh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
and then, when dad passed a couple 2.5 years ago now, I knew that like I had to take over the magazine and live and keep this legacy alive. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, but, but
And
I
your
did go
dad
to
is a
college for
legend.
that.
I mean, Ray Foley wrote the first book in 1997
Yeah,
and Bartending for Dummies, and you've continued to update
crazy.
that. And,
Yes, this is actually my copy from when I was a kid.
oh my
I've like
gosh.
kept it, and I don't know how it stays in this pristine condition. I should probably stop using it as a prop, but yeah, but yes, I have updated it. It's on its sixth edition now, and I was able to update that before Dad passed. So this is the sixth edition. It has Mom's name on it here as well, who still runs Bartender Magazine and Bartender.com with me.
Jackie.
So
Oh my gosh.
Jackie, yep,
And
it's a family
how old is
biz.
she now? How old is she now?
Mom just turned 66, and we did a champagne crawl for her birthday, as always, as one does for their mother.
I mean, who were you at Catholic? You're a bourbon guy. So were you like drinking bourbon at 20?
No, I really, it was kind of like the forbidden fruit, just because it was like alcohol was around me at all times. So, it just never like really was of interest to me for a long time because,
Wow.
I wanted to respect the products and do those kind of things. So when I turned 21, I was like, I have to like try all these things. But yeah, I am more of a brown spirits, bourbon, dark rum kind of guy. Um, but yeah, never underage drinking. I stay strong on that.
Really? Okay. I love that. I love that. And I
Good
noticed that
Catholic boy.
well, and I think even when I was checking out the website, it asks, are you 21 years or older? To
Yeah,
view
absolutely.
I think was it to view the website even maybe.
Yeah, just to get on the website. Yeah, most like alcohol brands and things have that. You want to make sure we're following obviously all laws and regulations, but it's important. staying of age and
Yeah.
learning how to make drinks. And the website has, thank you for checking it out. It
Sure.
has so much with recipes and news, and you can read the magazine online for free. So there's so much to do there.
Yeah, thank you. And I am curious to know in your next phase after you have your second child and you're continuing down this path. I have such a love for the Jersey Shore and have spent the last 25 summers there. Any
Oh
hopes
my
and
gosh.
dreams of opening your own place?
Oh man, I feel like I'm a better consultant than a owner of a bar.
Okay.
But yeah, I love to, help folks to redo menus or help, plan events and executions and like what consumers and bartenders are looking for. I find like I'm much better at that
Okay.
than running a bar.
Hey.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'd love to move. My definitely the plan to move down the shore though, for sure. But um, we have a good family friend who is one of the owners of Bar A, Bar Anticipation. So
Stop it.
and I worked there that's where I talked about where I worked. That it was at Bar A.
Stop. Well, I got
Yeah.
married at the Columns, which is in
Oh my God. Yeah.
which is in
I
Avon.
got yes.
And I mean, all the places. We would just ride our bikes up and down the boardwalk
Yeah.
and
I I I love Bar A, and I use it a part of my story a lot. Is like I worked there. I beat the clocks when they were going through like 40 kegs a night, which was like crazy, and the shot wheel. But where I really found out that I was best was upstairs and like helping with the inventory and doing all that kind of stuff. And um, I can work behind the bar. I do know how to, but I've been again, why I said I'm a better consultant. I like to see things from the outside and be like, hey, this is how we can make this a little better, or like one change can really bring in a lot of business for folks. And
Mhm.
something I do talk about for those who are interested in like running a bar or, opening a bar in this book is that, a lot of people, myself included, look at the menu online before you go to the bar or restaurant.
Yes, I do
And
do
if you
that.
are someone
Mhm.
who, yeah, and if you are someone who doesn't drink or you're sober curious, th having that space as a bar owner with that says like, here are some non-alcoholic drinks that are on my menu. You're already knowing as a consumer or a future guest that there are things for me on that menu, and I feel already comfortable going into it. So I think that's like a huge unlock for a lot of businesses of like when someone's saying like, oh, I don't want to do non-alcoholic drinks, you're like, well, one, it's a growing movement, and two, like you're leaving money on the table, and a lot of folks don't want like if I'm going out with a group of friends and they want me to pick the place, I make
Mhm.
sure that the restaurant or bar has an NA options for anyone for regardless of the reason they're not drinking.
Do you
So
really
that I
think
think it's
that bars or restaurants that don't offer that are kind of behind the times, so to speak? Like they need to get up. I mean, it's
I
growing, right?
yeah, for sure. I actually just feel like you're leaving money on the table,
Leaving
right?
money on the
Like
table. Yep, that's a
yeah,
great
why
way to
not?
put it.
Why not have an option for someone who's not drinking for again for any reason, and I'm
Yeah.
very adamant about that. Of like, why not? Like,
Mhm.
it's no harm to you, no
Sure.
foul to
Sure.
have it on the menu. And yeah, also as a business, right? Even when I go out and I do drink, but like I could have, a cocktail and then an NA cocktail and extend my stay. Now I'm
Right.
having two drinks instead of having four martinis and being like, I might have to go home. Like I can have one martini and two NA cocktails. Now I'm there for an extra 2 hours. And maybe now I'm starting to get hungry and thinking about getting an appetizer. Your check size is increasing and you're really, as a business, you're, yeah, prolonging their stay. So I think it's just a business kind of mindset to think of. But overall, it's just like have an option for people, make them feel comfortable and safe.
Oh
You
my,
shouldn't have
I
to
love
ask like
that.
NA options, like put it in
Sure, sure. Thanks for getting it. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't
the
get it, and you're a great
Yeah.
consultant. I think,
Oh,
there is
thanks.
a huge, I mean, just listening to you, business owners, you sell it very well, and that makes me excited because I'm going to try. I mean, I'm going into the holiday season and thinking about new things that I want to try, and obviously going to get the book and we'll use it and bring
Thank
it to
you.
people for gifts as well. And
Yeah.
you know,
That means the world. Thank you.
So I so appreciate you saying yes, especially this. I mean, when did you publish the book? When was
It
it
came
released?
out in August, this August. So, my daughter is August 11th, and I think it came out the Monday following. I think it was the 15th.
I mean, in
Um,
just such a perfect time right now for the season. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is really the perfect time with, people are interested in like sober October
yep.
and
Dry
dry
January.
January, obviously
Yeah, yeah,
the biggest, right?
yep.
Um, so, I definitely will be doing a lot for dry January. I mean, I have to at this point, but like, it's important to, take a break. And again, if you're sober, curious, or just, want to take a break from drinking, this
Yeah.
is a good time. There's so many more. Again, like Sober October is like a newer thing that I feel
Mhm.
like everyone's getting behind, and it's a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah.
And again, there's so many options for you. There's 300 recipes in this book.
Oh my
So there's
gosh.
something for yeah, there's something
You'll find
for
something that you'll
everyone.
like in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't, I'll make something for you. You send me a
And
note.
then go to your website and
Yeah,
send you
go to
an
the
email
website.
and say, "Hey, I
Yeah,
didn't find anything."
I
Well,
didn't find anything.
in conclusion, I do want to just ask you because I was so struck by the fact that you lost your dad not that long ago, and
Yeah.
this legacy that you're carrying on. Um, what do you think he'd think of this new book that you published?
Oh man. Right in the feels. I feel like if I told him in 1997 when he did Bartending for Dummies that I'm gonna do an NA book, he'd be like, there's not enough info on that, and there's like not enough things. And there are some in this Dummies book, there are a few things that are just there's non-alcoholic drinks. There's like a Arnold Palmer in here, right? Like
Mhm.
a classic NA
Yeah,
cocktail.
yeah,
Mm. But I feel like he would have been like, "What?" And then now, 2 years ago, if I told him, because it wasn't even a thing, right? That like the book wasn't thought of then, he would have been like, "That's awesome." Same thing. Dad is always about like inclusivity at bars and restaurants and just in general. Like we should all have that cheers moment where everybody knows your name and you feel comfortable. And this is that the
mm,
big thing for me and why I was so passionate about the book is that this is a huge growing category that people should learn more about. And, I think he would have been proud. I actually never said that, but I think he would be proud of the book and all the stuff that we're doing with the magazine and, keeping it alive. He did tell me and I should have told you this before. So, print, everyone's like, print is dead. I'm like, print
yeah,
is not dead. And my generation, especially, like, they never got to see their names in print and or their faces in a magazine. So
yeah.
this is like very big for me. But before he passed, he was like, if you take over the magazine, if you stop printing it, I will kill you. And I was like, okay.
He's
So
watching.
he's watching me. And I'm like, dude, I got it. I'm doing it. I got a lot of we sell we mail 50,000 magazines a quarter. I'm printing it, dude. I
Oh
am
my
printing.
gosh. Wow.
So I think that he would be proud about that I haven't stopped printing it because well, I'm also still here, so I know that he knows that I'm not printing it. So yeah, no, it's yeah, I'm very honored and there's so much that like, you know, he started a bartenders foundation to give back to, folks who didn't go to college. So we try to give people educational dollars and a bartender hall of fame that he started in 1985. Like he did so much for the community that it would be silly for me not to try to continue that on. And I hope that he is proud of all this stuff.
Mhm. I am sure he is,
So
and
thank
you
you.
are a gift, and thank you for
Oh,
being
you
here
are a
and
gift. Thank you.
educating us.
Oh,
And
happy anytime you need me.
thank you. We'll have to have a live event in New Jersey or Chicago, so that I'll
Absolutely.
follow you and find out where you'll be over the next few months.
I'll be in DC tomorrow, funny enough.
Oh my gosh.
I'll say hi to our Catholic University friend.
Well, and to all the listeners, thank you for being here and a gentle reminder to be the change that you wish to be in the world and see in the world, whether it's in your community, with your family, or personally. Have a great day.